Matt, you there? It showed one person for a second. There's a person. Can the person hear me? Hello, person. Oh, person left. Person's back. Same person, different person. I don't know. It is so awkward being on here alone with nobody talking. The phone is going nuts, though. Okay, so you're commenting over here. Really? What? Trying to figure this thing out. Because I have no idea how it works. And that's why I haven't been able to do these yet. Okay, let's see if I can do this through the Patreon live thingy. I don't know how any of this works, but I shall try. Look, there's 2 people now. Yeah, see, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I know how to live stream with my phone, but I don't have the right authorization or whatever through YouTube to do it on my phone. Let's see. New live stream. Okay. Okay, I tried setting up a second thingamajig. I have no idea how any of this works. You'd think for a millennial I'd be more competent on this technology thing, but this is the first time I've used my computer in a month. Let's turn you off. Are you not able to go to the YouTube link and just do it as a normal YouTube chat? This is the link. Should be. That should be the link right there. What, Boomer? Do you know how to do the YouTube chat thing to make the live stream work right? No? You don't know what I'm talking about? Of course you don't. Okay. So weird. So we'll just do it public. Maybe now? I made it public. No, you did not miss the live. There's just, I'm trying to figure this out. I don't know how this all works outside of a cell phone. So I had it set to not private, unlisted, or whatever it is, just like I do all my videos for Patreon, to where you guys can see them on my Patreon, but not everybody on YouTube. And I did that with the live, and somehow it didn't work. I don't know. Well, I didn't intentionally have sound. I just hoped it worked, and it did. So, shalom, guys. Thank you for helping me test it. How's my audio coming? It's a brand new camera. I've never used it before, so oddly enough, it's been sitting on my floor for a week, waiting on me to get to it, and my dogs didn't eat it, so I'm thankful for that. Well, it's about to rain here. Switch over to my handy dandy radar app. Oh, turn that off. Right now it's all up in Bentonville area, but there's a cluster about halfway between Tulsa and the Arkansas line. It's probably going to spread all the way through down to Little Rock. I don't know with this cold front how strong it'll be overnight. I may lose internet here though, because we've got lightning just to our west right now. So we'll see how it works out. Sometimes it messes with it, sometimes it doesn't. Things are going okay. I had my first spinal ablation done almost 2 weeks ago, and then I get my next one done here in about 2 weeks. Right now I'm recovering from the one and kind of feel like I've been cooked from the inside out. Combination of the really hot needle things for the ablation, frying off the nerve endings, and all of the x-rays I've had to do in my back over the past month. And it's kind of weird, the sensation of it all, because my normal lower back pain it's completely eliminated now on the left side of my back, but the right side is all still there. But there's the surface pain from the needle sites and all the radio frequency burns. Yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine about the cooking thing. It's like, I wonder what it smelled like when they were doing it. But yeah, it's one of those things that's going to hurt for a little while, and then it'll be all good, and I'll be, as far as my lower back is concerned, I'll be pain-free for about a year as the nerves grow back, and then I'll have to do it again. It'll just be kind of like an annual thing. You know, if society holds together and I can keep getting it done. If not, at least it'll give me up to a year to really hardcore push myself and get some stuff done and strengthen my back, which is something I can't do because of the pain right now. Hey, Mark Chase, shalom. So now that I know this camera works, it's one that I can mount up on a tripod. That's unfortunate. I am sorry to see that, read that, hear that. I don't know what the right expression is. But like I was saying, this camera here, it's a Chinese knockoff of something or other. It was like a third the price of the real deal. But if it's working, it's good to go. They're all made in the same factory anyways. I'll probably do some live streams when I'm back to cooking. I hadn't been able to over the past couple weeks. I haven't even cooked them. Well, I take that back. I've cooked one meal in the past 2 weeks. I just haven't been able to stay on my feet long enough. Well, I mean, I'm still tethered on this camera, so I don't know how many capabilities it'll give me, but at least I can live stream until I can do it through my phone. I have not done one on lamb, but I will be cooking one soon. Sukkot's coming up. That'll probably be the first time I'm cooking lamb, unless I come across some lamb chops or something. We're going to probably do some stuff as far as how I prepare that and everything. Well, I mean, I've got what is it, an induction cooker or whatever it is that I think y'all have seen it. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing a video from the lamb from Sukkot. And it'll probably be two, because we're doing two different lambs like we did last year. more than likely. So I don't want to be too presumptive, but I'm assuming. And so it'll probably be the rotisserie method that I'm going to use, which would be pretty much the same as what I did last year. A little bit modified, but. And then slow cook as well, roasted. Yeah, that's pretty much how I've been the past 2 weeks. Just getting over is I do a little bit, and then I sit on ice for a couple hours, and then the pain meds knock me out, and so I don't do anything for 6 hours. Then I wake up, do a little bit, and rinse and repeat. And it's just been I've been able to go a little bit longer and a little bit farther every day or so. Yes, I did cook lamb at the wedding. I don't even think I could handle one that's that big. I've got a what is it, 18 inches? I think it's an 18, might be a 16. I'm not sure. I've used it once to cook bread, and it doesn't sit right in my oven, and I just haven't been able to really get outside and do a fire with it being so hot. But I've got a Dutch oven that looks like a pot, and it's got a regular handle off to the side that I use for most of my bread, and it works great. The one thing you want to be careful for with a Dutch oven is tomatoes, specifically. If you don't have a good seasoning on it, it'll strip your season. The acids will strip your seasoning off, and you really got to recondition it after you use it. You definitely don't want to let it sit. Yeah, I've seen those cook trailers. Back when I was doing stuff with emergency management and FEMA, the group I was with got one of those through a FEMA grant. It was really nice until it broke. Getting spare parts for some of those things are a little bit of a pain. Yeah, no, you don't want to store stuff long term. I mean, you just want to cook in it, and then you're done. Clean it and condition it if you have to. As far as storing stuff, usually not a good idea. And you might be able to store bread in it if it's on parchment paper. That might not hurt it. I don't know if the moisture in the bread would be too much for it or not. I'm sorry to hear that, Jay Morris. I know that arnica gel stuff, it worked pretty good for my back for a while. It doesn't last too terribly long. It didn't do anything for my knee, but my knee's got a mechanical problem, not a nerve problem. But even though it's a torn meniscus, it's supposed to heal on its own. I just gotta not be stupid. But yeah, I am enjoying this, guys. I didn't really have much of an agenda other than to test this camera out. So it's like I'm not very talkative. I feel like, with everybody else's live streams, they have something to say and all that, and I really don't have a whole lot. And back here on the rack behind me, these are my wife's essential oils collection, about 2/3 of it. And then up at the top, I've got a whole bunch of stuff called Deep Relief. That stuff's really good for like joint pain. It does help some with my back. I guess it's just something with me. The oils, some of them, because I don't have a sense of smell, so a lot of the olfactory parts of how the oils work, it doesn't work for me. And some of the stuff, they're like, oh, this will work this way, this will work that way. It's hit or miss depending on, like for pain, there's a thing called the morphine balm, which is equal parts frankincense oil. What is it? Frankincense, Idaho balsam fir, and I'm blanking on the last one. Phone a friend. Oh, you silly person. Copaiba, that's it. We use Young Living. And I don't have a problem with the other. A lot of, as long as it's not like Walmart. Their stuff is more fragrance than it is anything else. But yeah, the morphine balm that's with the Young Living oils, it's 5 drops of each Idaho balsam fir, copaiba, and frankincense. And back when I was having real bad migraines, that's what I would take. And it usually took a few doses of it before it'd knock it out, but it worked. Whereas a lot of other things didn't work, and I would have to take legal speed. That's what I called it. I can't even remember what the stuff's Fioricet. That's what it is. which I can't get that anymore. They'll give me Percocet all day, but they won't give me Fioricet because of my heart. On mine, I have a severely deviated septum, and it really blocks off like 90% of the airflow on this side. And I had it fixed, and they literally surgically took my septum out and smashed it flat. And it was like the weirdest thing. It was like a little meat hammer is how they did it. And when they sewed it back in, it was an outpatient thing, but it took a few hours. And when I got home, and of course this was back in 2010, and my youngest brother was in my parents' bedroom. That's where the video game system was. He was playing Call of Duty, cussing up a storm while he was live doing the live play, whatever, and cussing up a storm. And I kept telling him to shut up, and eventually I smacked him with a pillow. He turns around and just breaks my nose, and it severed those nerves from my sense of smell. But I've still got my sense of taste, so I can cook good. Yeah, my dad, he had, some sort of cancer. I don't know if he still got it or not. It's VA treatment, so who knows. He had a cancer in his nerve endings in his face, and they hit him with targeted radiation, but he lost his sense of smell and taste from it. It's got, I mean, he's got just dead taste buds and everything. And so it's like food is just an exercise, not an enjoyment anymore for him. Yeah, and that's what, like, he's messed with the whole. He was in Vietnam, and he did the whole Agent Orange thing and all that. And my mom in the '70s, she lived on Guam, and they used Agent. That's something the military doesn't really admit to, but they used Agent Orange on Guam as well to keep the foliage back from the base where they lived, and so she was exposed to it too, but not as much as my dad. But the bad thing about Agent Orange is, everybody's talking about like the RNA thing and everything today. Well, Agent Orange did that too, and it'll mess with your genetics. And I've got genetic abnormalities because of it. It's like my toes aren't the right shape anymore, or like it should be. And it's like that's the most obvious one. And then my weight issues could be because I eat too much. It could be because the Agent Orange, could be a combination thereof. Who knows? I am losing weight though. I've been, it's one of the benefits of being so long in the bed over the past 2 weeks that haven't been able to go in the kitchen and couldn't cook, and so I couldn't eat, and so I've lost a little bit of weight from there. Of course, some of it's also muscle atrophy as well, but that'll come back when I get more active again between my knee and my back. I'll be good to go here in about 4 or 5 weeks. Just depends on how quick I recover from the second round of the ablation. Hey, SHK. I feel like I know who you are, but I feel like I don't know who you are. So hi either way. Yes and no. So it killed my pain on the left, because I've only had the left side done. So it killed my nerve pain on the left side, but I've got for the pain from the operation, which is just as bad, but it's lessening. And so now my back is on the surface. It's got like this weird numb, unless something puts pressure on it, and then it feels like it's burning. And then when I get active and the muscles start moving, the muscles aren't fully healed yet, and so they let me know. But right now it's just it's really weird because it still hurts like it always hurts on the right side, and on the left side there's nothing except for the pain from the where they're halfway between incisions and injections, where they stuck the hot poker in me. So that's a little bit circumstantial. It depends on what I have with me. If it's just outdoors in general, anytime, any place, anytime, uh, probably have to go with my. Did I time out? Am I still here? No, I guess I'm still here. There's some lightning close by, and it jolted the system for a second. But the rotisserie device that we built last year for Sukkot, that's probably my favorite outdoor cooking method right now. As grilling's just grilling, running stuff in a smoker. I love doing it, but there's not much to it. You put stuff in there and you wait 8 hours. You tend the coals every now and then. Put some wet wood chips on them to make more smoke, things like that. I mean, it's not too much to it. And then in the house, I think one of my favorite things, it's an easy thing to make, and we call them taquitos, but they're like halfway between a taquito and chimichanga. And so it's a slow cooking method for the chicken. And I mean, I can do that in my enamel Dutch oven, or I just put it in one of my big hotel pans and just foil over it. It just needs to have some sort of covering on it to keep the moisture in. And usually, I mean, it depends on what temperature I'm going at, but it's between 2 and 4 hours. It just depends on the temperature, whether I have 4 hours to slow cook it. And then I take it out, shred it, and it's just chicken breast that I use. I just buy the cheap chicken breast that's frozen, because it's at the store typically fresh chicken breast versus frozen, it's the same price, and I'm going to put it in the freezer anyways, so why not? And I'd make a lot of tuna noodles, but my wife hates tuna. But another easy one for you, get just the frozen chicken breasts from Walmart, and you put them in with you can do it with chicken mushroom. You can do it in cream of mushroom soup, or cream of chicken soup, and don't add any water to it. Just use the straight out of the can. And you can use either fresh potatoes or canned potatoes. It don't really matter. And mix it up with ranch dressing. And you put the chicken breasts into that mixture, and just submerge them just a little bit into it. Foil it up, cover it up. Whether whatever you're cooking has a lid, and pop it in the oven. Let it cook for a couple hours. Because of all the seasoning that's in the ingredients you're already putting into it, you might want to put a little bit of extra pepper on it. I mean, it's just kind of up to taste on that. That's something that we did a lot back when my first job at Frontier City, which is the amusement park in Oklahoma City. We did for catering for a lot of the bands that would come in and play on Saturday nights during the summer. And it was that and fried chicken. And there was a couple other sides. That was what we always did for Charlie Daniels Band. Because he was always an annual attraction for Frontier City. Yeah, and then here at the house, I just, outside, I like grilling steaks. That's about right now I've got a big wasp nest living in my grill that I haven't even used because it just gets so hot and humid down here where we live. And it's been black flag conditions for almost the past 2 months. And so I've done most of my cooking inside, and so I'm looking forward to fall so that I can get back outside and start cooking. I know one of my other outdoor favorites is, of course, we don't have any peanut allergies in our family, so for Thanksgiving, I would do frying a turkey. And I do this injection that I make. And it's liquid butter, garlic, oregano, and thyme? Yeah, thyme. And I inject it with about 2 pounds of butter. I would make Paula Deen proud. Yeah, transitional seasons. I mean, I'm Moki Storm Chaser, so here in Oklahoma, transitional seasons is usually when we get most of our storms. Whereas the past couple of years, we haven't had too many tornadoes, real tornadoes. Of course, 2 years ago, they call them QLCS tornadoes. And they're the ones that are just quick spin ups on the front leading edges of not boundaries, gust fronts and stuff. We had one go 1/4 mile north of the house last year, right in the middle of deer season. I had the guys down here for deer season. We're standing out on the porch and we're like, that sounds like a tornado. We look off to the north. Hey, there it is. But I kind of, I don't like necessarily counting them as tornadoes. I mean, they are, but they're not from a mesocyclone, a supercell storm. They're just more of a random chaos thing, that they're not from an organized structure in the storm. I mean, that doesn't mean they're any less dangerous. I mean, we had one a few years ago hit El Reno, Oklahoma, and it killed a few people, unfortunately. It was rated an EF3. And then there was one, I can't remember where it was, but it was within the past year. I didn't chase it or anything, and it made a pretty bad mess too, and it was an EF3 as well. But I can't remember where it was right off. Well, you say that, but hurricanes are far more destructive than a tornado. You figure a hurricane has, just a wide path, and I mean it might be EF1 to EF3 strength, but instead of a tornado being really narrow, hurricanes are really wide. Plus, you've got all the flooding, the storm surge, all of that to go on with it. I'll take a tornado over a hurricane. It's a whole lot easier to get out of the way of a tornado. Yeah, I've seen a lot of that with tornado. It's what's called usually. I mean, I can't necessarily speak to your situation because there are other types like this, but a lot of tornadoes are called multi-vortex tornadoes. And sometimes the vortices are in real tight with each other, and sometimes they're spread out. And so it can be like two tornadoes. I mean, I've got, several pictures where there's, 4 or 5 tornadoes. But really what it is it's one tornado with the multi-vortices all split out. That is true. That is true. You do have more time to get out of the way or to prepare for it or whatever. I mean, a lot of times, if you've got the right preparations, make sure your house is built right. You can get good tie down anchors that can screw into your yard, and you can use tie down straps over your roof to keep your roof on, and then you can board up your windows and stuff. I mean, as long as your house is built solid, you can ride out up easily to a low end Cat 4, as long as your roof doesn't go anywhere. That's the key thing. If you lose your roof, it's all over with. That's the same. I mean, that's the same as tornadoes as well. All right, be safe. And then I've also had tornadoes too, where it like legitimately is 2 different tornadoes. Is the way supercell storms work is they'll start an updraft and everything will get spinning, and then that'll start to weaken and it'll move, and then the cycle will it'll do it again and again and again. And among storm chasers right now, 2 of the most, and I was at one of them. I was at the Dodge City event. It produced a prolific set of tornadoes. Nobody got hurt. I think 2 houses got hit. And it happened, it started like 20 miles south and southwest of Dodge City, Kansas, and it went all the way up to the northeast side of Dodge City. And if somebody did get hurt, it wasn't bad. And only a few houses got hit because out there it's all farmland. And so it was one of those days as a chaser where you can really just you can be in the moment and enjoy it, and you don't have to think about people being in danger other than us, all the idiots like me. But then there was one, and I want to say it was up in Nebraska. It could have been like South Dakota or something. It was a few years back. But it produced 2 EF4 tornadoes, between, and I can't, they were under 200 mile an hour winds, but I can't remember what the bottom end on that is. And it was 2 EF4s at the same time. And the unfortunate thing is the way tornadoes are rated, especially at the higher ends, they have to hit something. Hey, can you grab me a water? Okay. Oh, that's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, if we didn't have all the scientists out there, I mean, I'm just out there with a camera, and I phone in. reports as well. I mean, Paris, Texas, back in 2011, I was one of the only chasers out there, and I was one of because it was a rain-wrapped tornado. Nobody else saw it except for we did, and we were lucky enough to be in the right spot. And that tornado went through. It wasn't as it was big when we saw it, and it narrowed down. And I can't remember which part of town it went through, but they wouldn't have had warning on it if it wasn't for us. And then there was another incident. I can't remember the name of the town right off. It was a really small town in north central Oklahoma back in 2010 in similar circumstances, rain-wrapped tornado, and we were stupid enough, brave enough, whatever, to get really close to it. And we couldn't see it so much as we could hear it. And once you hear a few tornadoes, you know what they sound like, because they all pretty much sound the same when you're outside of them. When you're inside of them, it's a totally different story. But when you're outside of them, they all sound, it's pretty much like a log jam going over a waterfall is the way I describe it. That's exactly what, out in the middle of nowhere, tornadoes sound exactly like a waterfall if they're not hitting anything. And then if they're hitting stuff, it's a waterfall plus like a grinding sound. A lot of people describe it as a freight train or a jet engine or something like that. It's a matter of, distance perspective, because the closer you are to them, the louder they are. What are you done? Want to get up here and say hi? Yeah. Up. You gotta look over here. Hey. Over here. Look here. No? Alright, go on. Go on, you brat. Go bug boomer. Yeah, this is Lily. A little dog who likes to defy life. Or death. Yeah, death. Defy death. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here, guys. This was fun. I've learned a little bit. And here, this next week, I'll get some more time in the kitchen, and we'll probably do pizza. I think that's what I'm going to do, is homemade pizza. And we'll do the whole process, from the ground up with the flour and the yeast, making the dough, and we'll do a homemade sauce for it. And I haven't decided whether or not I'll use anchovies or not. We'll see. There's a really good Sicilian recipe for sauce where you grind up the anchovies in a food processor, and that's they go in the sauce. So I haven't decided exactly how I'll do it yet, but we'll see y'all next time. And thanks for helping me on here, testing this thing out and everything, and talking with me. And yeah, I'll tell her hi. She walked by going to do something, so I'll tell her hi for you guys, and we'll catch you next time. Shalom, y'all. Now, how do I turn this off? In stream. There it is.